once again. 3 races, the top 2 and the bottom 6. Well, 2 of them, they go straight through. The bottom 6 go out. Then in race 2, 12 athletes. Half will advance, half will go home. That leaves us with 8 in race 3 for swim, board and ski to crown 1 champion here at North Wollongong Beach. The boys are on the line. They're set and ready to go. A different looking field, a couple we haven't seen so far this summer. One on debut as well, and this man, but the pressure just starts to build, Jack Hansen, doesn't it? He needs a big result here today if he's going to defend his title.
Well, Josh, he has to try and stay out of the bottom feud. For Matt Bevilacqua, he had a 14th in round 1, which means he's already got his throwaway score and can't afford another bad result.
Cody Innes makes his debut in the Nutrigrain Ironman series from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. Good to see Cody there. Bo Wheeler back from a big injury. Used to be in the series before he broke his knee in, well, 2-foot surf just down the road. He's a local racing for Bulli now, so good to see Bo Wheeler back. And for the first time this summer, Hayden White is in this race, so the boys are on and away. And speaking of Hayden White, his former Warilla teammate Ali Day in the centre there, and he is fired up and going away from the field, as is Bevilacqua. Gets ahead of Lacey there, and Bevilacqua and Ali Day side by side. Matt Poole's really fired up on the outside as Kendrick Louis starts to get moving as well in the middle, and out the back, Jai Timperley has got absolutely smashed. So Timperley cops one in the face. TJ Hendy's about to go underneath one as well. Oh, Hendy gets obliterated there on the back bank, and Timperley as well. So 2 already shot out, and you would have thought TJ Hendy, he would have been okay. Kendrick Louis has been smacked as well. He's gone all the way back to 3rd last place. So after a good start, a couple of those waves have taken some casualties.
Well, it certainly has, Josh, and the likes of Timperley and TJ Hendy are almost all but out of this one. The boys need to make their way back up into 14th place. Jay Finesse is our current leader. Matt Poole tucked in behind him, our current series leader, and young gun Cooper Williams going with the big 2.
Yeah, Williams from Alexandra Headland in 3, Ben Carberry in 4, Isaac Smith there in 5, Bevilacqua and Day, 2 of the heavy hitters of the Nutrigrain series side by side, and Jay Finesse is looking strong out in front at the moment, no problems at all. But the more interesting story is probably in the back half. TJ Hendy's there, Jai Timperley as well, Corey Taylor, Bo Wheeler, Cody Innes, and well, the winner from round 1, James Lacey, is still in the bottom 6 at the moment. Got plenty of work to do. We can see a couple of the boys trying to push down a wave at the moment. Kendrick Louis goes past Cody Innes, tries to duck in between 2 or 3. They're going all over the ocean. On the far right-hand side, Tannen Linden is pushing down one. So is Ben Carberry, Ali Day there, Isaac Smith coming down, Matt Poole pushing a long, long way to the right. Ali Day sits up, decides not to go. He was getting pushed right there, and let's see if the boys can hold it. No problems from Cooper Williams in the middle there. Jay Finesse hasn't had an issue at all, and out the back a couple have gone down some big ones. Oh, Poole makes sure. It looked like he was pushing off, but I think Cooper Williams was gone at that point. He was just making sure that he didn't take him out as he went up and around on the shore break. So no problems at all for the boys in 2nd and 3rd, and Max Brooks has had a great ski leg as well.
Well, a good ski legs from Brooks, Josh. Bevilacqua and Louis, they're 2 heavy hitters getting caught up in the water's edge. Isaac Smith comes around. Ali Day's there. Tannen Linden in the mix as well. James Lacey and Kendrick Louis up and around. Matt Bevilacqua got a lot of room to make up. If he's gonna put himself back at the front of this one with Wheeler and Coombs.
What about this at the back of this field there? Ben Carberry, who was sitting up in the top 3 at one point. Jackson Maynard as well, got a lot of work to do. Jai Timperley there and TJ Hendy, so they're all in the red zone. 3 of the Currumbin boys in the red zone, 4 of the Currumbin boys in the red zone. Hayden White as well. Ski was his best leg, but they all came off on that wave, and just like that, Coombs, Carberry, Maynard, Timperley, Hendy and White, 4 from Currumbin, 1 from Northcliffe and 1 from Surfers Paradise, all in the bottom 6 after the opening ski leg. You would have thought Ben Carberry would have been good to go in that ski leg, Jack, especially he's the Ocean 6 ski race champion. Hayden White's one of the best in the business, and the rest of the boys have got skills there, but you can see the frantic pace already, and Kendrick Louis was probably the big mover last out at the Cairns, and he managed to get himself out of the red zone on the way back home.
Well, Timberley is also certainly no slouch on the ski, Josh, but the boys got hit quite hard off the beach, and that's made a big difference and really mixed this one up. Jay Finesse still pushing the pace out in front, and these boys are racing for that top 2, the automatic qualification. Poole trying to tuck in behind. I think that's Max Brooks in 3 there as well. So all these boys know putting themselves in the top 2 gives them the biggest advantage.
Cooper Williams racing very hard, trying to get himself one of those automatic qualifying spots through in the series. And I know Matt Poole's been very sick over the last couple of weeks, battling, well, a chest infection. So he'll be pushing hard and putting all his eggs in the basket of trying to get those top 2 spots. And looks like Jay Finesse, the man affectionately known as Butterbean, is doing the same thing. He is having one of his best races ever in the Nutrigrain Ironman series. So they're out in front. Max Brooks holding on there. Cooper Williams in 4th place there. And then Isaac Smith just behind him. So a couple of the Newport boys doing very, very well. Corey Taylor, Mitch Coombs in the mix as well. And the rest of the field very strung out. Ali Day starting to work his way through alongside Kendrick Louis and Matt Bevilacqua. So some of the big hitters. There's a wave on the front here. Cooper Williams goes down and Max Brooks goes down it. Matt Poole and Jay Finesse are all down this one. Let's see who's got the body serving skills to get them all the way to the beach. And they do very, very well there. Looks like maybe one has dropped off at the moment. Jay Finesse stands up, Matt Poole stands up, Max Brooks stands up, and the 3 go up and around. And Cooper Williams, the only one who didn't manage to hold on to that little body wave.
Yeah, so a little mistake there from Cooper Williams. Isaac Smith coming up in 4th place. He'll join Cooper Williams in 4th, sorry Josh. Isaac Smith will be in 5th, and those boys will be looking to try and close the gap in this final board leg. The main goal to finish in the top 2 to get the opportunity to miss race 2.
What a performance Kendrick Louis had in the last leg and a half there after being near last on the ski. Worked his way back up into 6th. Tannen Linden was there as well. James Lacey, so Ali Day goes around, Bevilacqua's there, Mitch Coombs works his way through, Corey Taylor, Corey Fletcher as well, so Corey and Corey trying to stay alive, and that is almost the red zone from there on down, and Bevilacqua just doing enough, so Maynard, TJ Hendy there, then Jai Timperley, Cody Innes. We saw Ben Carberry and Hayden White. They will all go round. Bo Wheeler's in the mix as well. That's your bottom 6, and that's the red zone as we see it. So Hendy, Carberry, Timperley, Innes, Wheeler and White. Just like that, the 2 locals. Hayden White from just down the road at Warilla. Bo Wheeler from just up the road at Bulli, not far away. And Ben Carberry, another one of the Warilla boys there. They are all in the red zone, and the locals will not be happy with that.
Well, Josh, plenty of work to do, but it's not over yet. Still a board leg to come, and with a few boys getting held up there in the wave zone, we saw Bevilacqua have to pop over a couple. Could still leave those back markers, the bottom 6, in contention, and an opportunity to go through to race 2.
Oh, so important to finish in the top 2 here. So Brooks in the lead, and what a last 18 months he's had as well. He's been on fire in the Nutrigrain Ironman series. Just behind him, Jay Finesse, and maybe this is the coming out party of Jay Finesse, where he really starts to mix it with the top tier of this competition. He's been close for a very long time. He's finished on the podium, but maybe today is the time he steps on the top step. And the man currently leading the series, Matt Poole, does he have 3 races in him? Brooks tries to push down one at the moment. Brooks is going over the top. Brooks goes down a wave, and that will get Brooks straight through to race 3 today. A very, very measured and very, very professional performance from Max Brooks from Newport. He will go through, he will win race 1, and the race is on for 2nd place. Jay Finesse is just ahead of Matt Poole. Matt Poole's given up looking for a wave behind. Jay Finesse has kept the power down, and that might prove the difference. Poole's going to get down, and he knows he's going to have to chase hard, but I think Finesse has pulled down a little runner in front of him. Max Brooks is straight through, no dramas at all. And Jay Finesse did, he paddled all the way to the beach, hands off the board to Nathan Smith, coach and former Nutrigrain Ironman. And Matt Poole, just like that, has missed out. Bevilacqua gets down one with a couple of big hitters, and we've got our 2 through to race 3 there. Matt Poole, the first to miss out, and is that going to come back to haunt him, Jack Hansen?
Well, a shake of the head from Poole, and probably didn't paddle hard enough back to the beach. Could have been on that same little bubble as Jay Finesse as they were coming in together, but chose to sit back and wait for the wave, and unfortunately for him, he'll be racing in race 2.
These boys are all through. Cooper Williams, Kendrick Louis, Tannen Linden, Matt Poole, James Lacey as well. No dramas at all, but this is where it starts to get interesting. Corey Fletcher is through. The race is on up the beach. They go hard for it, up and around. Only 1 or 2 will get through at the moment. It looks like Maynard and Coombs will get through. Maynard and Coombs and Carr Carberry get through. Corey Taylor misses out, so the Northcliffe lad, the first one to go home, and just like that, Innes, Wheeler, Timperley, Hendy and White, big Hayden White, his first performance at the top level here, he'll go home as well. And wow, what a race on for third place. Only 2 of those men survived, and the rest forced to go home. We take a look at the results from race 1, and of course it's, well, Brooks and Furness that'll go through to race 3, and the boys in red, they will go home, and that is all she wrote for race 1 of the Eliminator. We'll be back with... Welcome back to race 2 of the Eliminator here at North Wollongong Beach. It's the Kellogg's Nutrigrain Ironman Series. Round 3, race 2. We've got 12 on the line and only 6 will survive. Jay Furness and Max Brooks are already through to the final, and let's see who we can add to the start list there. An interesting mix, a couple of young guns, Isaac Smith, Cooper Williams. They'll be ones to watch, but they're taking on a couple of old heads with Kendrick Louis, Matt Poole, Ali Day, Bevilacqua as well, trying to keep his series defense alive. They're off and away. In the center of the screen, a little bump to go over, 2 little bumps to negotiate. Ben Carberry on the right-hand side got off to an absolute flyer, as did James Lacey, the winner of round 1, and pops up and over that. Very tough conditions, and it is the right-hand side. Ben Carberry sits up and goes through that one early on. Bevilacqua, we get good shots riding on with him, and he has to not only negotiate the break, but gets a kick in the head from a couple around there, and Ali Day out the back at the moment. What about that? Not what you're expecting for one of the favourites to win the overall series.
Jackson Maynard makes his way through as well. Matt Bevilacqua still stuck there in the turbulent water. He's joined beside him. It looks like Isaac Smith there. So those 2 boys out the back, and Ali Day currently in last place, so he's going to have to make sure he's in the top 6 in this one, which means making up another 6 positions, Josh, to get himself out of the red zone.
Well, he's tacked himself back onto the back of the pack, and I know his board's a very, very good leg, but you'd have to think his swim and his ski are probably just slightly stronger there, and that's saying something because he's the current world champion and one of the best in the business, and he's at least tacked onto the back of this. And Cooper Williams from the Alexandra Headland Club, an athlete that you coach, Jack, he is leading and he is having a day in the sun at the moment, isn't he? You'd have to say this is probably his best performance at the top level.
Well, plenty of confidence there for Cooper Williams, and that's really what he needs, knowing that he deserves to be there, and mixing it with these big guns, the likes of Bevilacqua, Poole and Louis, who are currently sitting on his wash as he leads them around, and he's not holding back, making sure he keeps pushing that pace to ensure he stays in the top 6.
In your role as a club coach, how much is it mental and how much is it physical with these top-end athletes? Do you spend much time on doing that mentality sort of stuff and knowing that you belong in this kind of competition?
Well, Josh, I always came from the belief that, you know, if you had the result, you knew you deserved to be there. And I think for Cooper, it's the same sort of thing. Once he gets a good result, he knows he's got the ability. And at the moment, he's paddling his board really well. And that shows in his first board leg here. But he's been mixing it with the top board paddlers throughout the Ocean Six so far, and even at the World Championships. And for him, that puts him in the mix.
Paddling well is an understatement. He is currently leading the Nutrigrain Ironman Series alongside Kendrick Louis, and interesting, James Lacey there, just a wide arm technique as he paddles in and almost knocks Kendrick Louis over, and Louis doesn't even react, and Cooper Williams there, well, that's confidence if you're ever going to see it. Comes up, sneaks inside. Corey Fletcher from Ben Carberry, 2 boys that I thought were going to miss out in the first race, and they are sitting in 3rd and 4th in race 2. The boys are in and onto the ski. Williams in first, gets the rating up and gets going. Here we go. Tannen Linden in 5, Lacey in 6, Ali Day's up into 7. What a paddle home that was. Coombs and Isaac Smith, they're in 11 and 12, and they've got plenty of work to do if they want to get into this one. So at the moment, Day, Maynard, Poole, Bevilacqua, Coombs and Smith, and that could have been your top 6 if somebody had asked me at the start of the day, and at the moment, they're not getting through. They're your bottom 6 as our leaders are being forced to negotiate this tough North Wollongong break.
Well, Louis and Williams just been held up. It looks as though Ben Carberry's come up to join them there, and we know
Poole forced to roll.
We know how good a paddler Carberry is as Poole goes under one. Josh, he's back on and trying to get away now, but plenty of room to move. Bevilacqua sneaks around one. Linden's hit by it, as is Ali Day, and Isaac Smith sneaks through on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's Smith there with the pink ski at the bottom. Day with the grey and white just above him. Tannen Linden, pink and blue. Looks like Corey Fletcher on the all-grey. Matt Poole out the back with the yellow nose. Jackson Maynard on the white ski and Mitch Coombs on the black. And that's your bottom six. Bevilacqua just sitting safe at the moment, but he wouldn't be comfortable, that's for sure. And you just feel like his series defence hopes they're hanging in the balance here. He's got a 14th. He doesn't want any worse than that. He had a 14th last season, but he had to drop that one. So you know if he can, well, if he finishes above the bottom here, you think it's going to count, but it's not a great result. He's got to get into that third race, doesn't he?
He has to make sure he's in the top 8. And making it through to that third race, Josh, guarantees you a spot in the top 8 for the final points for the day. Corey Fletcher having a good race. He's currently sitting in 4th place in this race, knowing that he's just inside the top 6 is Bevilacqua. He's doing what he can with the likes of Ali Day tucking in behind him. You know with a swim leg to come, you've got plenty of work to do.
So it's Bevilacqua in 5th, Day in 6th, Tannen Linden in 7, 8 is James Lacey, 9 is Isaac Smith, 10 is Poole. He's worked his way through this. Coombs is going backwards in 11, and Jackson Maynard is sitting on the back of this group there in 12th place on the white ski. A couple of our leaders have got runs away, so it looks like there's a group forming there, and this is the real red zone. 6 and 7 at the moment, Day and Tannen Linden.
Well, that is our race at the moment, and with a swim leg to come, you would assume that Ali Day will be the big mover. Not only the big mover, but should put to rest Tannen Linden, who's currently equal 6.
But there's plenty of racing left to go in this. Kendrick Lewis looks super strong all day. Apart from that opening leg of the opening race where I thought he was in last place and out of it for all money, he's worked his way through and looked very good. So Carberry in 1. Kendrick Louis in 2. The rest of the field will come up and around. It's Cooper Williams in 3, Bevilacqua 4, Corey Fletcher in 5, and Day in 6, and that is the cutoff. These men are safe. Tannen Linden is not. He's in 7th place in the red zone there. Up and around, Matt Poole in 8th. He looks like he's breathing hard. Maynard's worked his way through as well in 9. Isaac Smith's gone back to 10 there. Maynard's gone past him. James Lacey struggling to hold on in 11th place. And Mitch Coombs, he is heading into one of his stronger legs, but he's in last, and he's got to catch up 6 spots if he wants to survive.
Well, there's plenty of work to do for plenty of big names. We see Poole, he's stuck in the red zone. Josh, we spoke about a little bit of illness earlier. We know he's had fluid on the lungs the last couple of weeks and has probably put him out of a fair bit of training. So how will he go in this final swim leg in race 2, already under fatigue? He's got plenty of work to do to pick up at least 2 places to ensure he's out of that red zone.
Yeah, he missed the World Championships there, and he put all his eggs in that basket in the opening race. And we know Ali Day, he's worked his way through into 3rd place there. You can see that distinctive stroke. He had a massive World Championships and is in fine form. But this could be one of the big deciding races when we look back at the end of the season on who claims that overall title, because Poole's starting to fade. Day and Bevilacqua working their way through, and Kendrick Louis is looking stronger than ever as he takes the lead going round. So all of the big guns here, it's really up to them to decide whether they want to get themselves through at the moment, because they just have to swim hard. They really have to get themselves into the top 6. It's Kendrick Louis in 1, Carberry in 2, maybe Cooper Williams has now moved up into 3, Ali Day into 4 there, hanging on. Bevilacqua in 5, and Poole has found something. Matt Poole has found something and swum his way into 6th place.
Well, he's moving through this field very, very quickly. He's about to pick up clubmate Tannen Linden. He knows he's got to go now. Sitting in 7th spot. He's worked his way up inside now around the can. A good turn there from Poole. He'll be trying to continue this move to put himself into that 6th place.
At the moment, Corey Fletcher and Jackson Maynard, they've drifted out at the moment. They've got plenty to do to get back into this one, but there's enough waves on offer and they're close enough here that I think these waves may turn this race on its head as they start to work their way inside. You can see the lumps starting to come through, but they're just not standing up at the moment for the back markers. Our leaders might be a chance to pick up 1 or 2 of these, and Ali Day has been the big mover here. Swum himself into outright 3rd. He's looming up on former Warilla teammate Ben Carberry and chasing down Kendrick Louis, who's in the lead of this one. Someone's going to get this one. A couple are going to get this one. 2 are down at 3, 4, 5 are down this one. So 5 are down this lead wave, and that makes this situation very good for our front markers, but very bad for the boys at the back, because they are going to have to find something special, and we'll wait to see who stands up. And What a performance from a couple of these guys. Ali Day is definitely one of them, that is for sure. Cooper Williams as well. What a swim from him. Incredible stuff. Kendrick Louis is having a strong day, and there's 2, 3, 4 on this next one. Matt Bevilacqua's going to have to get going. We got 1 across, 2 across there. The race is on. Bevilacqua's up. Corey Fletcher's up as well. Poole, Tannen Linden. Poole's out. Linden looks like he's going to be out as well. Corey Fletcher might be the last one home, and a turn up for the books. The series leader at the moment is out. He is out after race 2. He is going to have to settle for a 10th place. Corey Fletcher misses out as well. James Lacey, one of the big guns, and Jackson Maynard, they will go home as well. Coombs and Isaac Smith, they are out as they run up the beach, but a turn up for the overall series point score with a couple of the big guns in Matt Poole and James Lacey. They're going home.
Well, in a very tight finish, Tannen Linden got the nod over Corey Fletcher, so extremely close. And right on the line, it was Linden who goes through to race 3.
4 men spreading up the beach for just 1 spot. Williams, Day, Louis, Carberry, Bevilacqua survived. Linden did it the hard way. And then we say goodbye to Fletcher, Poole, Maynard, Lacey, Coombs, and Smith. They will get the corresponding points for where they finished, but we got top 8 still alive, and what a race that was. It was back and forward, up and down for a lot of those boys, but you got to say Cooper Williams and Kendrick Louis looked the strongest.
Well, certainly from the start, and Cooper Williams stayed in the mix the whole way. A few little mistakes here and there from a few of the boys certainly blew this one wide open, and we saw a huge race, Josh, to make sure some of the big names remained in that top 6.
Heading into the final round, 8 men. Who's your tip, Jack Hansen? You'd have to say someone like Max Brooks, who looked very strong in race 1. He sat out race 2. He's got to have to go in as the red-hot favourite in there, but who do you like?
Well, the likes of Brooks. Throw in Jay Finesse as well, because he's well rested after watching the boys slug it out in that second race. But in a 3-race eliminator, you can never count out the endurance animal in Ali Day.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one there. Day just gets better as it goes on, and the boys are off and away. And once again, not many of those blue rashies go in. Only 3 made the final here, so it's tough stuff. A couple of these boys are forced to sit on the sideline and contemplate their overall series chances, and it's Jay Finesse, who was one of those rested men who goes straight to the front of the race. Alongside him, Tannen Linden, and just behind them, Max Brooks going very, very hard. So they saw the girls' race. They saw the advantage. Missing race 2 was to Lana Rogers, and they're looking to take advantage right here, right now. It's Finesse leading the top group. It's Tannen Linden leading the bottom group, with Ben Carberry trying to work up alongside him, and they're dragging Ali Day and Kendrick Louis, and I like that group a little bit better at the moment with the 2 big guns sitting on the back.
Well, Jay Finesse, he's leading the way out. Carberry swum up and past former training partner of Burleigh Heads Mulbrae Park in Tannen Linden, who seems to be going backwards at a rate of knots, but perhaps Tannen trying to get over on the northern group. Perhaps he feels they'll be moving quicker at the moment. Currently back in 7th spot is Tannen Linden. We've got Matt Bevilacqua out the back door at the moment, so the current series champion, Josh, is sitting in 8 of the 8 men out there.
As they turn the first can, it's Jay Finesse in 1, Ben Carberry in 2, Max Brooks in 3, Cooper Williams in that line in 4th place. They're doing it tough. Kendrick Louis in 5, Ali Day in 6, Tannen Linden and Bevilacqua, the Kurrawa pair, in 7 and 8. And well, he's got to do better if Bevilacqua wants to hang on to this overall series title, because an 8th place I don't think will be enough with a 14th place already in the bank. But what about the man? He trains up on Sydney's southern side there at the Shire with Nathan Smith, but races over at Manly alongside Kendrick Louis, and Jay Finesse is leading this race, and he's looked so strong all day long, and one of the best in the business swim board-wise, and his ski's getting better every week, so he might be a shot here, and he's rested and out in front, and you can see the 2 rested men as Max Brooks swims past Cooper Williams and past Ben Carberry and into 2nd place. They're in 1 and 2, and therein lies the advantage of winning the earlier race.
Well, Josh, we saw exactly the same thing in the female race. It was Naomi Scott and Lana Rogers who went to the front in the first swim leg, and here's a wave starting to build, so we'll have plenty of with people down it. The last two are off the back, and I think we're going to have 6 on the front wave, Josh.
Only 2 to miss out, and I think the 2 that missed out, a couple have gone off the back, so that washed over the top of a few. Bevel Aqua definitely missed out, and the skills from some of these boys, it must have been a very, very tough wave because not very many of them held it all the way to the beach, and Kendrick Louis pops up and he's very good at the fundamentals. Nothing flashy from Kendrick Louis, just all business-like. He is in terms of his swim leg, goes around in the lead. Ben Carberry in second place, throws the goggles up and around. Cooper Williams in third, Jay Finesse, our early leader, in 4 as they work their way through, and then Ali Day in 5. So that is your top 5 as they go through. Tannen Linden, Bevel Aqua in 6 and 7, and Max Brooks, after being almost in the lead early on, is now back in last place in this final.
Just goes to show how much it can be mixed up in the wave zone as Kendrick Louis has to roll under one. Sneaks underneath the lip there. Benny Carberry working very hard to close the gap, and he slides up and underneath one as well. So it looks as though we're going to have Louis and Carberry out in green water. Carberry trying to chase Tannen Linden, still trying to do work through the wave zone, and it looks as though the rest of the field are they going to get hit by that one. So Carberry and Louis out in clean water while the rest of the field is getting hit.
Ali Day was the only one who didn't roll under that big set. Max Brooks will be wondering what he did to deserve such punishment, not only on the way in but back on the way out. And just like that, that field starts to really stretch out at the moment, and Kendrick Louis not looking around. He's head down, paddling as hard as he can to that first can, and he'll stay on his knees all the way out to that can, have a rest, have a look around, sort of reassess what's going on, and then go for broke on the way home. Ben Carberry chasing very hard. Bevel Aqua with a smile on his face as well. He copped a beating alongside Cooper Williams, who's all the way back in 8th place. So Bevel Aqua and Cooper Williams copped an absolute hammering on the way out.
Well, they did, and it's allowed Carberry to sneak away with Louis, but Day is chasing very hard. He has the rating up. Look at him go across the back of the cans there, Josh. He's going to be the big mover. He's almost closed the gap on Carberry out in that green water, but Kendrick Louis isn't hanging around. We see the rating on Louis up. He's working on the little bumps. Any little opportunity he gets, he's trying to stay away from the chasers. He knows if he can go into the swim leg on his own, he's every chance of hanging on to this win.
Well, I thought that Bevel Aqua and Carberry were out the back, but they're not. It's Brooks. Brooks is all the way out the back. He's been obliterated again. So at the moment, in 1, it's Kendrick Louis, 2's Carberry, 3's Day, 4 is Tannen Linden, 5 is Bevel Aqua, 6 is Cooper Williams. Then a little bit further back, Jay Finesse and Max Brooks. So our 2 early leaders are all the way out the back of this one, and the wave's on. And what about that? Carberry misses it. Ali Day gets it, and it's a race in 2, and the 2 sparring partners, Louis and Day, are side by side with 1 leg to go, and Ben Carberry will be kicking himself for missing that opportunity.
Well, the current Australian Ironman champion versus the current world Ironman champion. What better race could you have than Kendrick Louis versus Ali Day? Here we go, man on man. Josh, final ski leg. Who's going to take this one out?
Side by side, I think the first man to make a mistake, it might be race over for them. Both the boys go on, and when you've got Ben Carberry chasing as well, who was the best ski paddler in the whole Ocean 6 series last year, 1 mistake could prove fatal. Tannen Linden's in 4th, Bevel Aqua in 5, Furness in 6 as they go round. There's Cooper Williams in 7, and Max Brooks, he is coming around in last place, so up and over. Both the boys struggle to get that ski up and moving. Kendrick Louis looks like he just got the acceleration a little bit better. Oh, Carberry goes left and right and manages to survive, but there's another wave behind that that's going to smack him. He ducks the head under, does a good job to stay upright as Bevel Aqua leans back, goes up and over. It looks like Carberry will go up and he'll be in green water. The rest of the field, though, they are forced to deal with this shore break in there, and they are doing it tough at the moment. They are going backwards as our 2 leaders race side by side. Kendrick Louis in 1st, Ali Day in 2nd. I don't think Ben Carberry can get him, as Jay Finesse seems to have snuck out as well on that ski. So Carberry might not have 3rd place sewn up as the rest of the field chase very, very hard.
Look at Day sitting there on the wash, just looming. Louis doesn't want to give him an inch, doesn't let him inside on those cans. Day knows he has to sit back. He has to leave his run till late. It was Day that was quick off the beach. It was him who set it up and copped one of the waves in the lap as Kendrick Louis opened up a little bit greener on a little ramp, and it's now Louis who's maintained that speed to maintain his lead. Day tries to work up now on the inside inside. A little bubble, a little lift. Who's going to milk the most out of this one? Kendrick Louis tries to put him in on the can. He doesn't give him an opening, and Ali Day comes up to join him.
Yeah, Kendrick Louis, their race tactics, and there's no love lost there at all. He cut straight across to try and jam Ali Day on the cans. Day kept his line, he stayed straight, and Kendrick Louis forced to go back across. So this is going to get very, very interesting if we end up with a sprint up the beach. Third place is miles back. Kendrick Louis has found a little runner. He's cut across in front of Ali Day once again. So he's pushed down on a little runner. That little runner might even turn into a wave here. What about that? So Kendrick Louis found a little wave out in front. Ali Day's on one as well. So one mistake from Louis. He's not even going to make a mistake. He's going to paddle over the top of another one. Day's been forced to put the power down. He knows he's been beaten there. Kendrick Louis parks it on the beach. High five to Cam Coughlin, his handler, and he will head up to claim another Kellogg's Nutrigrain Ironman race victory at North Wollongong. Salutes the crowd, and you can see he's happy with that one. Kendrick Louis from Manly is your round 3 winner. Ali Day close in second place. He was there all day long, and that'll go a long way towards pushing him up the overall point score. And here we go, the race for third place. Carberry just in front of Jay Finesse. The sprint's on. The two big men of Ironman Racing go up and around, and Ben Carberry shows a little bit of speed. Finesse almost goes over. So Carberry will get his first ever podium after almost going out. Tannen Linden there across the line as well. Max Brooks will finish in 6th place, so a big result for him after getting smacked on the board. Matt Bevilacqua not very happy at all with his 7th, and Cooper Williams, big things to come from the young gun from Alexandra Headland. He will come around up, his best result ever in a Nutrigrain Ironman Series round. He will finish in 8th place and go a long way towards automatic qualifications. High five for Jet Kenny there with the broken wing as they will go through. What a result. Kendrick Louis in 1, Ali Day in 2, and Ben Carberry in 3. What a big performance from those 3 men. Jay Finesse finished in 4th. Linden, Brooks, Bevilacqua, Williams, Fletcher, Poole, Maynard, Lacey, Coombs. We go down Wheeler, Timperley, Hendy and White. Let's hear from our winner.
Here we are, Kellogg's Nutrigrain round 3 winner, Kendrick Louis. Unstoppable performance out there.
Oh, as I say, I made it hard for myself. I had to do all 3 races, and that last race, I tried to do something a little bit different. Normally I try and just lead from the front, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this time after doing 2 races, I just tried to sit with the pack and really try and make a move. Got one opportunity to make a move, and I did it, and happened to be the only one to hold the body surfing wave, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it was a nice wave in the body surf, but more important, that last leg was like a scratch race. With Ali Day and yourself, I know Ali would put the hammer down off that last can. You saw him coming up on the inside.
Yeah, I just knew that if Ali was on my side wash before that first can, it's going to be potentially a different race and a different finish anyway. So, I slowed the pace right down when I got to that first can. Really tried to make sure Ali couldn't get around me, and we ended up clashing paddles off that last can, and it was a little bobble I just hung onto, and I guess that won it for me in the end.
Mate, you're the current Australian Ironman champion as well, but what does it mean to win a Kellogg's Nutrigrain round here in North Wollongong?
Well, they're just so hard to win. Finishing outside the top 6 last year, I got to turn up on the Fridays and do the qualifiers with all the other guys, and you put a fair bit of pressure on yourself doing that. And I came down here really nervous, and I've been going well through the qualifiers, and then coming into the main event, it's just really just try and race your own race and swim in your own lane and just do what you can. And today everything came together, and perfect timing just before Christmas. So go have Christmas and a bit of a break. Yeah, with a nice win under the belt.
Well, hard work deserves great results, mate, and Merry Christmas to you and a great Christmas present.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to everyone that supports this, the sponsors, the athletes in particular. They turn up day in day out, and whether it's raining, lightning, thunder, whatever it is, and the whole crew that puts it together. It's we wouldn't have an event if it wasn't for all them. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Kendrick Louis will have a Merry Christmas after this present from Santa there. Stands on top of the podium. Ali Day and Ben Carberry in 2nd and 3rd. The 2 boys formerly from Warilla just down the coast, so it's a good homecoming for them. And Louis moves into 2nd, but Day moves into 1st. He lost the battle, but is winning the war at the moment. Poole drops from 1st down to 3rd place overall, and Furness, Coombs, Carberry, Kendrick Louis, Corey Taylor, Jackson Maynard all get automatic qualifying spots. That is the Ironmans. We'll be back